second shift. The referee for this bout is Bobby Ferreira. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with gold trim. He weighs an even 126 pounds. From Phoenix, Arizona, as a professional, 32-3, 27 KOs, ranked number 3 in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Louie, sharpshooter, Espinoza. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim and weighing 125 1/2 pounds. From El Mirage, Arizona, his professional record, 16-9-1, 9 knockout victories. Ladies and gentlemen, the Arizona featherweight champion, Adam the Mirage Garcia.
Okay, we went over all the rules in the dressing rooms. Anybody have any questions? I expect a clean, safe fight. Go back to your corners, wait for the bell.
Have you ever heard anybody say, I have a question? No. Adam Garcia, he's the champion here in Arizona. This is for the state championship. And Louie Espinoza, now significantly, you mentioned that Espinoza is a slow starter, but he's come in here. He's worked up a pretty good sweat. He looks very warm. And in the other corner, Adam Garcia, who you said really had to start quickly, has not yet broken a sweat at all. And I have to think that favors this man.
That's a very good point. And we'll see if it does indeed end up helping Espinoza.
Espinoza can get a man out of there.
For those that have not seen Louie Espinoza, former junior featherweight champion, he has fought the best. He is a murderous puncher, especially with his right hand. Doesn't move that well in the ring, and further impaired his movement by shooting himself in the foot in a hunt with a hunting rifle that he was cleaning.
And that wasn't that long ago. That was just around the holidays.
No, he fought one since then, and we'll see if his movement is further impaired. We mentioned earlier this is not a very big ring, maybe 20 feet, and presumably that would be good for Espinoza.
Garcia trying to give Espinoza some lateral movement here. Garcia is one of those fighters that started out, nice jab that time, started out by losing a lot of fights early. Since that time, the only fights he's lost, there has always been a reason for the losses. He got thumbed in one fight, that was a loss. He lost a couple of split decisions.
He's been very consistent in the last year or so. The 4 wins he has coming in here, good evidence of that. He's a clever boxer. He's got some sting in his punches.
A lot of dancing in this first round, not too much action. Espinoza short with a combination. Left hand by Garcia missed.
Espinoza has not been the champ now for 16 months, lost his junior featherweight title over 12 to Julio Gervasio in San Juan. Since then, he's won 7 bouts and only lost 1. The loss to Jesus Pole. We showed it on our top-ranked show in May of this past year. Terrific bout in which Jesus Pole fought brilliantly. And Louie Espinoza feels like he's just a fight or so away, maybe from getting another shot at the world title.
Espinoza working the jab with some degree of effectiveness, not often, but effective.
I think Garcia said to himself, I'm going to go out and really see what I can do in this first round. Make sure that I belong in the ring with Louie Espinoza and just try and feel him out a little bit. And that's what he's done. He's given away the first round, but apparently that, rather than a quick start, was his strategy.
Garcia trying to go side to side and work the jab, and has done it, and we'll be back right after this. Local products. Garcia from El Mirage, and oddly enough, Espinoza's trying to make him disappear.
From the world title contention picture.
It's a good shot by Espinoza.
They have sparred together, but not really conclusive in either man's mind as to what that proved. but at least they have seen each other inside the ring. Garcia respectful of the power of Espinoza, and rightfully so, but he's going to have to make, and there's a good example of that power as I speak, the 77% knockout ratio by Espinoza, just 35 for Garcia.
Uppercut just a little bit short. Espinoza just missing by a hair. Espinoza. Crowd pretty split, I would have to say, between these two.
Yeah, much more so than I would have originally anticipated. Espinoza with a bigger reputation, but Adam Garcia has a nice following here. We see it when he comes up to Vegas. A lot of people with their red T-shirts on that say Adam Garcia coming up there. This crowd is dotted with people with those T-shirts on.
Right hand by Garcia. Got through.
They jump up every time he lands a shot like that.
And the left hand was a little short. But as you said, he has to be somewhat careful.
He has to punch, get out, not be hit, move in, frustrate Espinoza, throw some punches, and just really fight in spurts, but make those spurts enough so he can win rounds.
He's being a little bit more aggressive in this second round than he was in the first. 12-round fight, remember.
By the same token, Louie Espinoza is not exactly rushing in. He knows Adam Garcia is a very clever fighter. Doesn't want to get nailed with some good counter punch.
Crowd taking up a Louie chant.
I'll tell you, the enthusiasm here for this fight is remarkable. I mean, you can just feel this crowd being into this bout, and the two fighters hopefully can rise to that level. That's really what it boils down to.
I think you said it earlier, that the crowd was waiting for an exciting fight. Incidentally, when we went on the air, there was a rather sparse crowd here. It has filled up rapidly, and it's a pretty nice crowd here in Phoenix. End of the second round, and we'll be back right after
the right hand. Nice one over the left of Espinoza, partially landed.
A better second round for Garcia, and we start round number 3.
Much better for Adam Garcia. And I think he made Espinoza think a little bit before coming in.
Espinoza not missing by much with that left hand.
Boy, that is a low figure for Espinoza, only throwing 8 right hands, even though he landed 4.
There was an uppercut slipped through by Espinoza.
And Adam Garcia is going to have to land more jabs than that if he's going to be really effective throughout 12 rounds.
Tempo of this fight is picked up with every round.
This is the kind of fight you can see by the 6th, 7th round. It could be a real war.
Yeah. Could be closer on your part.
I give the second round by the narrowest of margins to Garcia. I've got it even. Those are only the early returns.
That was a good combination by Espinoza, and it just stopped Garcia in his tracks for a moment. Garcia working the jab. 3 jabs got through. There was that right hand, but he missed it.
See, as you said, what a clever fighter Adam Garcia is. Garcia doesn't always move this much, but he knows he needs to in this bout. And try to take advantage of the lack of mobility of Espinoza, which I said has never been his strong suit. And then, of course, that accident with the gun, in which he injured his foot, doesn't help him.
When Espinoza knocked out Pedro Decimo the last time we saw him, he took a big step to his right and really came with that right hand.
Those of you watching ringside report on, I suggest that Elson Rodriguez would get Mike Tyson down in Buenos Aires. He's from Brazil. I know Buenos Aires isn't in Brazil. I was thinking of Argentina.
He may wind up in Argentina if,
after Tyson hits him in Brazil, yeah. Trying to let everybody know I didn't fail geography.
good right hand by Espinoza. Counter punch.
Espinoza has to be careful while walking into those kind of shots by Garcia.
Exciting round. Pace picks up. Crowd really into this one. Good fight so far. You're in the corner of Louie Espinoza.
As soon as he stops fighting, so you let him into this, I mean, look lazy. Short, finger, let's make him fight. He ain't got nothing. That's how he's throwing. Get off when he stops fire. Hit that bar. Don't worry about missing. Come back to them hooks and throw it right. Throw some. Jump out, come out with that lead right, going hitting the body when he's moving, firing. Have some fun. Let's
not sure I completely agree with that. I think he does have something.
Here is early on in the round. Garcia throwing the jab. Some are getting in. Counter right hand by Adam Garcia, getting in there against Espinoza.
But he took to get.
Yes, and what's happened here is Espinoza has forced the pace a little bit. And Garcia is going along with him a little bit on it.
And you heard in Espinoza's corner, there's people saying, don't worry if you miss a little bit. There was a right hand by Garcia. Espinoza has been very busy.
And landing about 30%, but when you throw that many, that's going to give you a big edge, which he does have over Garcia, and I gave Espinoza the last round, so you got him edging ahead. I think it is an understatement to say Adam Garcia is going to have to get busier if he wants to win this fight.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, he's trying to be careful. He knows he has to be careful. He's got great respect for the punching power of Espinoza, so he's sort of between a rock and a hard place here.
He is doing a good job, Garcia, of making Espinoza miss a lot. And if he can come on in later rounds, it might be a good strategy, but he's going to have to get some offense going. See, and you don't want to let Louie Espinoza have a free ride in the early rounds. You need to, if you're going to beat him, you've got to punish him. Pedro Decima punished him and nearly had him out, but couldn't. Jesus Pole survived later in the fight because he had punished Espinoza early.
Now, Garcia that time did get a right hand in, but it didn't seem to have much.
Garcia's boxing fairly well, but fighting with this posture and throwing as few punches as he is, I don't know how he's going to get a decision if it would go the distance.
Right hand lead a moment ago by Espinoza.
See how clever Garcia is, though, avoiding punches. Blocking a lot by Espinoza. There aren't that many punches getting in by Louie, but he's throwing so many more that you got to give him the edge. Good hook by Garcia.
Garcia with a lot of fans ringside here, all clad in red shirts saying Adam on them. And every time he scores, they stand up and cheer.
For Adam Garcia, the jab, which he needs to land a lot more of in this bout. We head into the fifth.
Round number 5, and Garcia still not providing a stationary target for Espinoza, but as you pointed out, he's going to have to get busy. These are the punches just in the 4th round on our punch profile.
Garcia throwing a lot less, although in that round being more effective in landing. Left hand by Garcia, but thrown backing up.
three-punch combination by Espinoza, and that backs Garcia up again.
Good counter there by Garcia as Espinoza came rushing in. Adam being a little more stationary.
Flicking the jab out. Great crowd here.
They are so totally into this fight. And it's a notch below where they are. You know, they're both trying, but it's just not quite as dramatic as they would like. They're willing it to be dramatic.
Well, I think just the fact that it's competitive and it's the first fight of the night that really has been has probably really got the crowd alive.
A lot of movement by Adam Garcia, and maybe a little bit more movement than they might want from him in his corner. He has one thing going for him now. Espinoza's a little bit tentative about just coming right in because he's been hit with some Garcia counter shots.
Garcia kind of ducking in and out now. Getting a little closer than he was. Body shots that time with the left hand by Garcia.
Well, the way to give Louie Espinoza trouble is to give him side to side. If you stand in front of him, no matter, even if you hurt him like Decima did, you might get nailed eventually.
And when they do get in close, Espinoza works the body.
I think that body shot stung Adam Garcia.
I think Espinoza's complaining that Garcia's coming in with his head.
Good right by Garcia, and things are picking up here, I'll tell you. They're both quick, and they're both landing some good shots now.
There is a little bit of swelling alongside the left eye of Garcia. That could become a problem. You could see him get the coolant on that. It's right alongside the left eye.
No problem. We'll get it down.
Putting the end swell on there to prevent the swelling. It's a piece of very cold metal.
1, 2, 2, 3.
Adam Garcia landing underneath against Espinoza. And it was Espinoza in that round who stunned Garcia with some body shots. But here Adam getting the right hand in there partially.
Keep your hands up, Adam.
And you can see that eye along the left eye, definitely black and blue, and it is something that really could be a problem as you look at some of the numbers.
The jabs of Garcia, I think fewer than he would like to land. And of course he had trouble against Jeff Franklin with an eye that swelled up on him.
And it never cut, it just swelled up.
You can feel Louie Espinoza saying, I have got to go out there and make something dramatic happen. Because Louie Espinoza doesn't just want to win, Barry. He wants to win impressively and cement in people's minds the fact that he should get a shot again at a world title.
Your card.
Espinoza had 49-47 after 5.
Espinoza, quick combination.
There's the first right hand Espinoza's thrown with real conviction in about 4 or 5 rounds.
And he's going with a straight right hand now. He was coming outside in with that right hand, but now it's a straight right hand. Good jab by Espinoza. We are in Phoenix, Arizona, and this is the state featherweight championship. But even more important, it's a stepping stone to a title shot for both men. Louie Espinoza in the blue trunks with the gold stripe, and Adam Garcia in the white trunks with the red trim.
And though they're fighting as weights for Espinoza, he is more accustomed to being a junior featherweight, and that's where he would look for a title shot, probably Garcia as well. He won the title right here in January of '87 against Tommy Valois, won the world title, did Espinoza.
The right-hand counter punch by Garcia stopped Espinoza in his tracks a moment ago, but Espinoza has been effective.
Louie's been really pressing the attack the last couple of rounds. Using his jab much better. A right hand sends the mouthpiece of Garcia into the first row, and Louie Espinoza's power now starting to really make itself felt. And this is about the time in fights when often you see Espinoza get his wake-up call and start really pounding away.
Oh, right hand by Garcia.
Well, but there you see the indication that Adam Garcia is not a tremendous puncher. He is into surviving this round and doing just enough.
The eye, no worse than it was in the last round. So they did a pretty good job on it between rounds. They got the swelling down. It doesn't appear that it's going to cut right now. More the danger of the eye swelling and closing than it is cutting right now. Incidentally, the crowd here in Phoenix officially announced as 3,205, and it is a very vocal crowd, being entertained by a pretty good fight.
Uppercut, but unfortunately he didn't land that many in that last round.
A pebble in the river.
Something to that effect.
Espinoza really pressing Adam Garcia now. Garcia's going to have to dig down and find something. Left hand by Espinoza. Left hand by Garcia.
In the last round, a real difference. Espinoza able to corner Garcia a little bit more, get more good shots in. And there's the uppercut from Espinoza that's been effective. Garcia's only averaging 26 punches per round. That just is not going to get the job done against Louie Espinoza.
But the uppercut of Espinoza is getting the job done.
Oh, my. And even though he walks into a counter jab, Louie doesn't care because those uppercuts are coming fast and furious.
And a cut on the right eye, and it's a pretty serious cut. And that is not the eye that was the problem.
The other eye, the left eye, is swollen, and some swelling around the right eye that helped create the cut.
It is a serious cut. And we're going to get a look at it right here.
Bobby Ferraro will have the doctor take a look at it. Right above us, in fact. And you're getting a bird's eye view of it. That is a nasty one.
Yes, it is. Don't think they will go too far with this.
It's in about the worst spot possible. Usually they will give you a chance to stop it. I don't think they're going to in this case. Wow, that's a bad cut.
And I can't quite hear what the referee is saying, but I know they're not going to go far. Take a look.
There's the uppercut, and boy, that is what created the cut, and it stopped the fight.
And I think that's probably a good decision. It was a good fight and a close fight, but a very serious cut.
That cut was in a very, very bad spot. They took a long time to decide, and because the doctor wanted to give Garcia the benefit of the doubt if it were possible to do that. And tough break for this young man, but in truth, Louie Espinoza was beginning to take control of this fight, really was winning it pretty much all the way anyway.
And you got to think about the fighter.
Oh, yes,
that was a nasty cut.
And not a big complaint from Adam Garcia. He knows that was a very bad cut. He's had some bad luck with that, and nothing like bad luck for Louie Espinoza, who, hey, maybe he is now just a fight or so away from a world title shot. And you know what? The last 3 rounds of this fight, this man was starting to get very sharp.
Yes, he was.
He really was.
Very busy, very sharp.
It takes him about 3 or 4 rounds to get the motor revved up, but Adam Garcia, as you look at him, didn't do enough early to discourage Louie Espinoza. It's not easy to do anyway. And Louie gets 8 wins in his last 9 fights since he lost the title. And you know what I respect about Louie Espinoza? He loses the title in '87. He stays right in with it, Barry. He stays busy, fights good men. And you know what? He's the kind of guy that, for the sake of the sport and himself, should get another title shot.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Very nice young man. And I know it seems like we say that every week, but it's absolutely true. He is a nice young man, well-spoken. Like to see him get a shot. Let's get the official word on time, place, round,
Ladies and
and all
gentlemen,
that.
referee Bobby Ferraro, acting on the advice of the ringside physician, stops this bout due to a severe cut suffered by a blow. The winner by TKO and new Arizona featherweight state champion, Louie "Sharpshooter" Espinoza.
So Espinoza is a winner, and he's a rather impressive winner, I think it's fair to say. Here's another look at how it ended. We'll be back to talk with him after this. And Louie and Al.
Yes, he's here with his daughter, Angelica. And Louie, this was a fight in which, as usual, it took you a couple rounds to get going, though you won those early rounds while you were getting going, and you really picked up the beat later.
Yeah, I just felt, I don't know, I just felt like I had to get loose in there and just being cautious, haven't been in there, you know, that much. And Adam was a very good fighter, and I knew he was going to be sneaky and fast, so, you know, I had to watch out for those.
All right, quickly, a world title shot next, you hope?
Hopefully, maybe in the middle of the summer, hopefully. See what happens, see how.
Congratulations, a good win for you. Louie Espinoza wins, his daughter's happy, and he's happy too. We'll be back with more top-ranked boxing from Phoenix.